Hi, welcome back to Mama Jasmine's Food Journey, and today we're doing an epic ice cream cake. Now if you haven't already, go ahead and hit like and subscribe so you can get notified every time I upload a video. Now this epic ice cream cake, here's the kicker. It is actually a Neapolitan epic ice cream cake. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on the video. For this epic ice cream cake, we have ice cream sandwiches, vanilla bean, chocolate and strawberry ice cream, hot fudge, Oreos, dipping dots, and sprinkles that I obviously don't use, but I want to say they're the optional option in case you don't have dipping dots. Now you're going to go ahead and get a springform pan and you're going to scoop in the chocolate ice cream as the base. After you scoop the amount of ice cream that you want on the bottom, you're going to go ahead and smooth it completely out as much as you can. After you've gotten this ice cream layer to about as flat as you can get it, I promise it's not going to be perfect, but try as best as you can. Once you get it flat, you're going to go ahead and put it back in the freezer for 30 minutes up to an hour. And now that we got it as smooth as possible, we're going to go ahead and put about 18 Oreos in a bowl. So if you want, you can put more. I figured 18 was the perfect amount to get the crunch on the bottom mixed in with the hot fudge. So you're going to go ahead and you can take a masher. You can use a bag and rolling pin. I prefer the masher. I'm not using as many plastic bags. I'm not worried about that. I can just wash this masher and just go about my business. But when I was mashing the Oreos, I was doing them in small circular motion so the Oreos weren't just flying out of the bowl when I was doing it. So crush them as best as you can so that everyone has a bite of yummy goodness when they're diving into their cake. Now, I measured out the amount of hot fudge I needed. It's going to be in the description box down below. You're going to go ahead and spoon all that hot fudge sauce right on top of the Oreos and then mix it together for your next layer. So I want to tell you how much of a chocoholic I am. This layer was always my favorite layer in an ice cream cake when I would have one as a kid. And for a while, I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I found out it was just crushed Oreos. How amazing is that? Not making it for myself. You're going to go ahead, after you've gotten the ice cream layer back out of the fridge, you're going to go ahead and scoop on that delicious, gooey Oreo crunchy layer. Make sure you spread this layer as fast as you can. I also flattened it a little bit so that it was as even as possible. So it's a little bit was digging into the chocolate, but not too much. You're going to go ahead and put it back in the freezer for 30 more minutes after you're done flattening it out. Now while that's freezing up, you can go ahead and slice your ice cream sandwiches. Since this is a chocolate strawberry vanilla cake, I chose, of course, Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches. I did about 3 or 4 of these that I sliced on a bias. Please don't worry about being neat. This is supposed to be a treat. Get it? I rhymed. But just do what you can. Make them into triangles, make them into squares, whatever you need. And now that that's back out of the freezer, we're going to go ahead and start adding in the strawberry ice cream. And you're just going to repeat the process again. So once you're done straightening out and flattening out the strawberry ice cream, you're gonna go ahead and bring out those ice cream sandwiches. Now I brought out the ones cut on an angle and the square ones. And I didn't pay attention to shape as I did kind of the pattern. So if I started with a strawberry pattern, I try to continue it up until there was no more angle for strawberry, and then went to vanilla and then did chocolate. So going around the cake, I try to make it where it was, once you cut into it, it made sense. And as you're also gonna see, the ice cream shapes are not perfect, but I love that it wasn't perfect. But if you're kind of a little bit OCD, I completely understand. Do what you can, make it work, cut them differently. But I love the way it turned out because it was almost like a kaleidoscope, like a rainbow effect on the side of the cake over it being just strawberry. Once you've gotten them all in as best you can, smush them down just a little bit, just so everything is flat for the last layer of ice cream. Now that that's gone out of the freezer for another 30 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and put our last layer of ice cream on, which is the vanilla. For this vanilla, you're gonna use a little bit more than the other ice creams, mostly because you got that top layer that has the most space, but also it's kind of like your little frosting on your cake. So I smushed it down as best as I could and smoothed it all around. Now, if you're like me, kind of want that smooth, beautiful top, I put saran wrap on the top and then I just patted it down and smoothed it as flat as I can get it. If you, of course, want to be even more, beautiful with it, you can take the spatula and do hot water, but I didn't need to. Then I take my dipping dots or any ice cream that is the dot version and put it on the top. I grabbed this one because it was chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, but actually the flavor was banana split. And then I take the chunks of the dots and broke them up and sprinkled them around the edge. So then it was a nice, beautiful layer. After that, I want to make it, of course, really pretty. And I'm going to drizzle chocolate syrup in a pattern. Now, you can do the zigzag pattern just once like this and be done with it. But of course, I have to be extra. And I did the double pattern because your girl is skilled. Look at that. Making it all beautiful. Now, after you do a final freeze, and this can be overnight, this could be 2 hours. Once it's just firm, you're gonna go ahead and take it back out of the freezer and take a cup of hot water and a knife. You can do a little bit of a sharper knife. This one's pretty good for me. And run a knife along the edge of the cake. And that's just to make sure and to ensure that the cake is separated from the springform pan. You don't want to open this up, found out that it's stuck, and then your ice cream cake looks like caca. No, we're not trying to be about that life. But we are trying to make sure that we have the best cake, especially if this is going to be for a birthday party. You're going to pop the spring mold, and mine was a little stuck. It's cool. I was able to jimmy it, wiggle it. Just kidding. I just used the knife again. And now for the big reveal. A beautiful, epic Neapolitan ice cream cake. But you know this, we're not done with this video, right? Oh, we're not done, honey. No, no, no. What we're gonna do, we're gonna slice this bad beast open. So I wanna go ahead and wipe down the knife, got it nice and clean, and cut out a huge chunk. Now, I promise I wasn't eating this myself. I got my husband in on it, and oh, there's my baby zooming in so he can see this beautiful deliciousness. And you cut this beautiful cake. Now, if you have that springform pan still underneath it, of course, be careful. But make sure you're cutting it nice and wiping the knife in between the slices so you're getting a very pretty slice. And showing you those beautiful layers going in the ice cream cake. Now, of course, you got to be fancy with it and do another drizzle of chocolate sauce on the plate to serve this to your guest. Now there you have it, an epic ice cream cake that is for all ice cream lovers. There's a total of 5 ice cream types on here, plus delicious chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. And now, since this is my dream ice cream cake, I've been dreaming of this for a long time. Let me know in the comments below what kind of treat you loved growing up and that you would love to have again. All right, until next time. Thank you for stopping by and watching this video. If you haven't seen the previous video, go ahead and click on the box next to me. If you haven't already subscribed and this is your first time to the channel, the little logo down there, you go ahead and click on that and you're a part of the team. Now, see you in the next video. Bye.